everyone, today we are reviewing a new Midea premium vacuum cleaner. The robot is called Midea S8 Plus. In design and characteristics, it is similar to last year's Midea M7 Pro. The same black body, lidar, emission model, and suction power of 4000 pascals. But there is an important difference. S8 Plus got a self-cleaning station and now unloads the garbage into a bag at the base after each cleaning. Given the above, the $440 price tag seems modest and even suspicious, especially since you can get it even for $400 in some stores. Let's try to find out if there is a catch here or just Midea decided to oust the competition. To do this, we will look at the robot from all sides, examine its strengths and weakness, conduct tests on different surfaces. Leave a like and subscribe to the channel, and I'll start unpacking it. Includes self-cleaning station, robot vacuum cleaner, 2 spare garbage bags, another one already loaded in the station, spare HEPA filter, a traditional mop with a microfiber unit installed, model with a vibrating mop and its own cloth, basic and spare brushes, 4 pieces in total, the construction manual in different languages, brief instruction for those who don't like to read. By today's standards, the equipment is excellent. In the box they even put spare consumables, so that for the next 6 months to a year Midea S8 is complete with everything you need. The vacuum cleaner looks very presentable. The matte coating is reminiscent of the protective vinyl film on cars. It is supposed to protect the vacuum cleaner from scratches. The lidar is equipped with a pressure sensor. The robot will not get stuck under the furniture. There are 2 buttons on the sides of the lidar, start and to base. When pressed, a white indication turns on. At the front is a bumper with a large tint window. You can find IR sensors behind it. A rubber molding is provided to prevent the robot from scratching furniture. There are not tough sensors. On the panel behind the bumper there is an exhaust grill and a mysterious window. The manual says nothing about it, so it's not clear what it is for. Write your version in the comments. The same window is on the left side. A 220 ml water tank is inserted at the back. It is similar in shape and design to the Roborock S5 Max tank. There's a pump inside the tank. The filling hole is under the spigot. Water comes in through 4 nozzles at the bottom. The mop is attached to the locks at the bottom and floats, adapting to the relief of the floor. But the downforce is weak, and so I think there's no point in such a design. If you need to clean the floor well, you'd better use a vibration model. This is a one-piece construction with 200 ml tank and a mechanism that makes 2 small wipes go from side to side. Also, according to the manufacturer, this container has a sterilizer. It is needed so that the container does not stink if you forget to drain the water. Under the lid there's a dust canister with a hole for the birdie. It's convenient that it's always at hand. Here on the panel there is a Wi-Fi indicator, a button for resetting and a plug behind which the service socket is hidden. The compartment under the lid has a 450 ml dust canister. Note that there are holes at the bottom which valves for self-cleaning. Exactly the same holes are made in the compartment for the canister. The effectiveness of self-cleaning will be checked during the test. But for now let's go back to our container. The fine filter is inserted into the back wall. There's a foam pad between it and the mesh, so the HEPA filter will last a long time. The intake opening is closed with a tight shutter. And on the front side of the container are built-in terminals. They are needed to power the motor that opens the self-cleaning curtain. It's a pity that the engineers could not go without the electronics in the container. Now it can be washed under the faucet, only wiped with a cloth. The main working accessories are under the bottom. Right and left side brushes marked with colors for convenience. Although why this is done, this is unclear. The brushes are exactly the same. By the way, in robots with lidar, 2 side brushes are rare. For Midea S8 this is a definite plus. Swivel roller, charging terminals, 4 drop sensors, dry wheels with unusual tread, lowering bell and a turbo brush underneath it. Of the disadvantages, I can note the hard lock of the frame. When you remove it, you can just break it off. Otherwise, the frame is standard, with protection against winding and rubber scraper. The turbo brush has 2 rows of thick and sparse bristles. There are no rubber blades, so it is necessary to tune up beforehand to struggle with the coiled hair. It's good that it has removable ends. The design of Midea S8 Plus is interesting, but the quality of assembly and plastic is average. There are obvious disadvantages. It is a bristly turbo brush, mop and socket frame attachment. I'll also say a couple of words about the station. It is a classic type. A column with a large packing area, self-cleaning occurs through a manhole at the bottom, which makes the duct is longer and its head an additional turn. Nowadays such stations are considered obsolete. Nevertheless, this design is still found even in the flagships such as Roborock Q7 Max and shows itself quite well. And so let's not jump to conclusions. In the compartment under the lid is inserted bag for 2.5 liters. It's quite easy to change it. The fasteners are very convenient. On the packing pad there are ribs that guide the robot to the docking point, spring-loaded terminals, a window with a sensor by which the Midea S8 finds the base, and self-cleaning holes. Exhaust grills are on the sides. And there is a channel at the back where excess wire can be stored. Despite the average build quality, the base looks great, especially when the light on the cover comes on. But the problem is that the light is always on and won't turn off even at night. Now let's see how to control the robot. To do that, we need the Mi Smart Home app. After authorization, we find S8 Plus in the list. Enter the network parameters. Press the Wi-Fi button until you hear beep. Wait for the connection and follow the prompts on the screen. The installation took 3 minutes and did not cause any difficulties. Inside the application we found a build map and data on the last cleaning. In the editor you can switch between the saved maps. There can be a total of 3. Each time you don't need to choose the right map. The robot does it on its own, depending on the environment. You can also change room boundaries and give them familiar names, set visual walls and restricted areas for each type of cleaning. For the whole map you can adjust the suction power and the intensity of wetting. In the same menu you can activate the vibrating mop, turn on the power increase on the carpets and select the cleaning mode. Normal cleaning is the standard mode of cleaning with zigzags and along the wall, or effective cleaning. In this mode the zigzags become denser and the quality of cleaning increases. Button with the plus sign activates water sterilization in the tank. Works only with Vibra module installed. Vacuum cleaner can clean the entire house, make cleaning in the right rooms or in designated area. Each room or area can be set from 1 to 3 passages. In the advanced settings you can program the frequency and even the duration of the self-cleaning. It can last from 6 to 14 seconds. If the house is relatively clean, a short self-cleaning is enough. But if you have a large dog and children, then it's better to move the slider to the right. Other features: joystick for manual control, scheduling work by days of the week with the selection of desired rooms and cleaning parameters in them, voice pack selection and volume setting, D&D mode, cleaning history, consumable status and service functions. Overall, the app is user-friendly and functional. The menu layout is intuitive. Of the disadvantages, I would note the lack of special settings for each room and the order of cleaning in different zones, and sometimes the app takes a long time to think and hangs. But I haven't found critical errors and crashes. Let's move on the practical tests. First, I turned the robot on the table to check the surface sensors. They work correctly. They don't let the robot fall off the table, but they also let it fall on the black carpet. Now we can safely move on the test in the room. Midea S8 acts accurately, sweeps the obstacles that are in the lidar's line of sight, quickly passes the dryer, easily enters the carpets. Passing the thresholds is good. The bar height 20 mm. The vacuum cleaner jumps confidently. From the disadvantages, I can note the glitches in the application. For example, on the current map the robot shaded part of the area in grey. This means that this area can't be cleaned for some reason. At the same time, it cut out this area from the saved map, as if it didn't exist. Midea S8 also drew an extra wall in the hallway, which is actually already in the neighborhood's apartment. It's not clear how to deal with these shortcomings. The software clearly needs improvement. There are no complaints to the autonomy. The battery capacity is 5200 mAh, with the maximum suction power of 4000 pascals. Midea S8 worked for 89 minutes, for which it managed to clean 82 square meters. In addition, for large houses there's a resumption of cleaning after recharging. The noise level during operation ranged from 35 to 62 decibels. This is a very good indicator, especially considering the claimed power. In most analogs, 62 decibels is the starting value, which turns into 72 at maximum power. And Midea S8 has high quality noise isolation. Now let's find out how the robot copes with cleaning. In automatic mode, Midea S8 cleans quickly, once along the walls and once in zigzag pattern. On the first pass, the robot cleans the wall areas well, but there it still picks up trash there with the end brushes. Without a second cleaning cycle, it only gets a 90% result. The sand test was a little disappointing. I'm left with a sandy streak behind the turbo brush. Either the problem is the soft tube brush or the actual power is less than the rated power. Either way, I only managed to get 92% of the sand. On a thin carpet, the result is even worse. Flakes, crumbs and seeds were left all over the paddock. The efficiency of the end brushes also dropped. The result is weak, 85%. The middle carpet was also beyond the robot's capabilities. The soft brushes just iron the carpet and don't comb through it, and the power is clearly not enough. In the end, Midea S8 did as well as most robots of the budget segment. It has collected 60% of the garbage. On the plus side, I can know the condition of the turbo brush. Much less winded hair than I expected. I won't have to bother with maintenance as often. After working, the Midea S8 parks itself on the base and cleans the dust canister by itself. Let's check how it works. Now we can see how much hair and small debris the Midea has collected after cleaning all over the apartment. I put the dust canister back in place and turn on the self-cleaning. The station hums very loudly, over 82 decibels, so I expect a good result. Yes, it did a good job and the container is completely clean. Now let's move on to special tests. I load 100 grams of sunflower seeds into the dust box. Let's see how the station does. There are literally 3 seeds left. The result is 98%. Now I load rice and peas. This is a more serious test, but Midea S8 coped perfectly. The container is absolutely empty. No problem with the sand either. The result is 100 out of 100. As expected, there was no problem with wool. Not a single hair left in the container. And the last test, 100 grams of filler. Large and heavy pieces of debris. This is the most difficult test for the docking station, but it successfully coped with it as well. Overall, the results are comparable to the more expensive Roborock Q7 Max docking station. It works flawlessly. It remains to evaluate the quality of wet cleaning. We are going to test it with the Vibro model. First, let's see how it removes coffee stains. The cloth doesn't get wet right away. That's why the first pass was useless. After the second pass, the robot started to clean the stains and wipe the floor with a shine after 4 passes. Note that the entire area of the microfiber works, not just the middle like analogs with a fixed mop, but the areas along the walls are still not cleaned. The mop can't reach there. The robot took longer to remove juice stains and could only remove them from the 6th pass. But even the result is unattainable for most competitors. Complex cleaning also works effectively. Midea S8 collects clods of earth and immediately wipes the floor with a vibrating mop. After 2 passes, the cloth was clogged with dirt and began to leave streaks, and so I had to rinse it. When I turned on the cleaning with a clean cloth, the robot has perfect result. The quality of the wet cleaning is like a towel. My only complaint is the sterilizer, which as it turns out does not work. The manual says that the light in the tank should light up, but it's dark and there's no sign of sterilization. Maybe I got a defective copy or maybe it's a problem with the entire lineup of Midea S8. If there are any owners of the vacuum cleaner in the audience, please let me know if the sterilizer works on your unit. Midea S8 Plus is the logical development of Midea S7 Pro. The design and functionality remain virtually unchanged, but the robot has a self-cleaning station. It's well made and perfectly copes with their duties. In dry mode, the vacuum cleaner can run for 2 months without user intervention. You only need to occasionally check the brushes. Midea S8 quickly and efficiently cleans smooth floors. And on carpets, you always need to run an extra cleaning cycle. The Bristol brush was not as problematic as I expected. If you have a short head pad in the house, you can't feel the difference with a standard brush. The main advantage of Midea's new premium vacuum cleaner, however, is high-quality wet cleaning. The Vibro model quickly removes difficult dirt, and in the effective cleaning mode is not inferior to professional scrubbers. By the combination of price and functionality, Midea S8 Plus has almost no competitors. The lidar S1 is slightly better in terms of cleaning quality, but it doesn't have a vibrating mop, and the price tag is higher. There's the cooler but much more expensive Roborock Q7 Max Plus. And there are a huge number of slightly more expensive models like the Xiaomi S9 or Proscenic M8 Pro, but they are all inferior to Midea in functionality. And so, if you need a cool robot with self-cleaning for moderate money, I can safely recommend it Midea S8 Plus.